Hey everyone, Ryan here at eTrailer. Today we're going to be checking out and showing you how to install the line of TecNiq mini clearance and side marker lights. These are going to come in a variety of different configurations, different type of lens colors and light colors. So we have amber with an amber light like we have today on our trailer, but then you have red lens with the red light, clear lenses with amber lights, red lights, and things like that. And they also come in a variety of different wire lengths and some with different types of ends on them. So with all that said, why don't we get right into it and check them out. Whenever it comes to picking out the color of the light, it's really just going to depend on where you're trying to put it. So for lights that illuminate amber like this one, primarily that'll be on the front of the trailer or the sides, right? Front half, and the lights that illuminate red, those will be on the back of the trailer facing towards the rear. So pick up the ones that are applicable to your particular situation. And when it comes to picking out trailer lights, there's a million of them out there on the market, it seems like. And one of the things that I've noticed with these TecNiq lights is the quality of them. They're really nice lights, and they're primarily designed for marine applications, right? Boat trailers and stuff, but that doesn't mean you can't use them on stuff like this. Great example. I actually have some on my boat trailer for about a year or so now. Ran into no issues with them, and that's why we decided to put some on this utility trailer. It's my father's, and I'm just going through it for him. And one of the things that he mentioned to me is at nighttime, be nice to have a little bit of extra light, kind of give him a reference point where his tires are. So that's why I added these. No brainer, they look good. Being that they're nice and flush for the most part too, you're not going to bump into it or probably break it whenever you're trying to load stuff up onto the trailer. So it just made sense and is a good clean fit. So whether you're replacing an existing light, this will be a really good solution for you. I know a lot of lights out there from years ago were the incandescent type bulbs, and those are super annoying, right? They burn out really easy from hitting bumps and stuff like that. But these are LEDs, and they're really nice LEDs. They're submersible, so for those of you with boat trailers, you can put them in the water, no problem. Not going to have to sweat it. I like to practice trying to turn my lights off when I'm doing that, if possible, but totally your call, it doesn't really matter. And with these being LED, they're super bright. It's just one LED in here, and the amount of light that thing's throwing off, even in this lit up bay here, is pretty impressive. And to be honest with you, it's kind of hurt my eyes a little bit. So we'll turn this off and take a better look at it with the power off on the side of a trailer. One thing I want to mention, these do not have reflectors in them. I know some lights will reflect even when the power's off, but that's not the case with these. So it's a really clean, modern look. They do all come with grommets too. So, it's something you're not going to have to worry about picking up separately. But with that in mind, you may have to get other types of connectors depending on what light style you already have or may not have. So like I said, they have some that have connections like this, ones that are very similar to it. Other types, if you already have these type of lights on your trailer, I'd recommend just popping one out and seeing what you have to work with and kind of going from there. Chances are pretty good there's going to be a solution for you. If you're adding them or your connectors there are just toast and you'd rather redo them, I'd recommend picking up the ones that are just bare ends here. That way you can use butt connections. And that's how we set up ours, which we'll show you in a minute. And like I said too, all different types of wire lengths. So if your trailer's existing wiring is running a little bit short, probably get one with a longer pigtail. If you have more than enough, probably get away with getting one that has the shorter pigtail. These are 1-inch diameter lights, which is a really common size. And that means it's going to be about 1 inch, once the grommet and everything is on there, like that. So the thickness of it from end to end is about 7/8 of an inch, and pretty compact. You know, you can put these things just about anywhere. Like on our trailer, we have them inside of the angle. You know, they're small enough to fit in through there and not have any clearance issues or anything along those lines. And here's a better look at the back of the light too. So it's all sealed in there, and that's actually urethane, which is a more premier type sealer than what's more commonly found in a lot of lights like this, which is epoxy. So like I said, these TecNiq lights are really nice. They pay attention to the small details and should last for quite some time. Other than that, not really a whole lot to it. You know, if you're looking for a really high quality LED light, then these are definitely worth considering. As far as the installation goes, everyone's setup's going to be a little bit different, but you know, hopefully how we did ours today can at least give you a little insight and direction and make it easier to do on yours. So why don't we jump right in? To begin our installation, since we're adding a light as opposed to just replacing an existing one, we have a couple more things that we're going to need to do. You know, if you're just replacing an existing one, remove it, change everything over, make your electrical connections. With us though, we're gonna actually have to drill a hole in our angle iron. And so what I did, I just pulled the grommet off of the light, right? Just slides right off of it. And kind of eyeball where we're gonna want it here. And I'm gonna go in this area. We wanna drill a hole just large enough for the grommet to pass through and still be snug in there. So I made a mark here, and I'm gonna take a smaller drill bit, make a pilot hole, and then I think I'm just gonna use a step bit and kind of go up from there to each size and test fit our grommet to see the point where it actually is gonna fit. I'll go ahead and get that done. I got the hole drilled out big enough to allow us to take our grommet and pass it through there. You know, you want a decently snug fit. You don't want it too tight where you won't be able to actually pass the light through. And so what I ended up with was a hole a little bit larger than 5/8, probably between 5/8 and 3/4 roughly. So just use your best judgment. You can always drill the hole bigger if you need to. So check it every now and again. And since we're happy with that, what I'm gonna do, since we have some bare metal exposed now, just come back, a little spray paint, and cover that metal up. Gave that a little bit of time to dry, and we'll go ahead, get the grommet pushed in, and then take your wiring. This is how I like to do it. Just feed that up here. Grommet. And we can start to get everything hooked up here. So all we have is a tail light signal, which is this brown wire, and a ground, which is this white wire. And so we'll strip the insulation back some. Give those wires a twist. And I'll go grab us some connectors here, that way we can make the connection. These are the connectors that we're going to use. They're just heat shrink butt connectors. You will have to provide connectors yourself if you have the type that requires a hard connection to be made. You can get these here at eTrailer if you need to. But we'll just slide these over the bare end of the wire and crimp them down. Same thing for this one. then we can make our connections from our light. So the white one will be ground. The black one will be power here. With these heat shrinks, once you complete the connection, you come back with a heat source, and that's how you seal up the ends. Can push your light into the grommet. Now I did put a little bit of soapy water on it there just to make it easier. And this will just push right into place like that. And what I'll do, come back, I'll use some electrical tape on our connectors here and zip tie our wiring up out of the way. With that all hooked up, really the only thing left to do is test it to make sure that it's working properly. So I just hooked our trailer up to a test box, more or less simulating our tow vehicle. You can use your vehicle, but keep in mind if it happens to have any issues on its own, could mislead you, thinking something did wrong on the trailer side. But we'll go ahead, turn our tail lights on, and see if we got power. Our light is turned on, so we're all good there. And from here, you know, that'll really about do it, unless you have other lights that you're replacing or adding. You'd simply just do the same process to get those done. But with that said, I think they'll about do it for our look at and our installation of the line of TecNiq mini clearance and side marker lights.